there. A very good morning to you from the KHOU 11 newsroom. I'm Lauren Tellerico with your AM update. And in case you don't know, this isn't scripted. This is just a very casual conversation between me and you. And we're talking about some of the top stories of the day and things that you are talking about. So you can comment. And if you'd like to talk about whatever, then go ahead and comment and we'll read some of those comments throughout this little newscast. And if not, then you can just listen. That's okay too. So we have to start with a really scary situation that just happened this morning. Houston police are looking for a gunman right now who fired multiple shots at a Metro bus. This happened on the north side at about 6:30 this morning. That is frightening. The bus was driving on Veterans Memorial, which is just north of West Gulf Bank, and witnesses told police that the suspect fired multiple rounds into the bus, shattering windows. I mean, this is amazing. Luckily, no one was really injured, just some broken glass. Somebody was injured by some broken glass. So far, no arrests in this case and no suspects. So that is still a developing story. I'm sure we will be following that throughout the newscast today. Okay, now we're going to talk about the latest with the deadly Wuhan coronavirus. There's a lot of changes happening in the skies right now. So first of all, let me just give you the latest numbers. So far, more than 17,000 cases have been confirmed around the world, 11 in the U.S. now. There have been 11 cases. So far, more than 30 people have died. I'm sorry, 350 people, way more than 30. 350 people have died. And there are some big changes taking place in the skies because of this. Houston airports are no longer accepting flights coming in from China. And the Department of Homeland Security says they will be diverting flights if a passenger on board has been in China over the past 2 weeks. So if they find out that somebody on your flight had been visiting China, they're just going to turn that whole plane around. So that's a pretty serious situation. We have all the updates about the Wuhan coronavirus on our website, of course, KHOU.com. We are constantly updating that information because it continues to change really almost every minute right now. 17,000 cases worldwide. It's pretty crazy. All right. Hey, can you believe it? The primaries are next month. The primaries for the presidential election. Gosh, time is flying, isn't it? So Super Tuesday is creeping up. It's in exactly 1 month. That's when 14 states, including Texas, vote in the 2020 presidential primaries. And this is the important part, okay? If you want to vote in those or a host of other local elections, today is the last day that you can register to vote. So I'm going to keep telling you because I'm one of those people that you might tell me something and then I kind of get busy and I forget. So I've registered to vote, but I had to be reminded a few times. Again, if you want to vote in next month's presidential primary, today is the deadline. You have to vote today. Hey, let's talk some football. By now, you probably know that the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champs, Super Bowl 54. A lot of stuff being said about that game, like the Kansas City Chiefs won and the way that the Kansas City Chiefs do. They came up from behind, right? They were down by 2 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. And then good old Pat Mahomes, who, by the way, is from Texas, threw 2 touchdown passes within the last 6 minutes of the game. That's crazy, isn't it? But I don't just want to talk about that. I want to talk about the halftime performance because this is what's really getting people fired up this morning. Okay, so the halftime performance was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. And some people are really upset about that performance. They're saying that it was just way too risque. There was a little bit too much hip shaking that going on during that performance. I don't know. Other people thought it was awesome. I mean, Shakira's 43 and J-Lo is 50. These women, I think they rocked it. What do you think? Do you think it was family friendly? I mean, Shakira is known for belly dancing, right? I mean, that's her thing. She definitely did a lot of that. And J-Lo had no problem keeping up. So let me know what you think. Family friendly, or were you covering those kids' eyes a few times during the performance? Okay, we're going to come back to that. If you have anything to chime in, anything to say, and you want to chime in, we'll come back to that in a second. Kevin is manning your comments right now. That's him on the mic. You can't see him, but he's there. But real fast, let's talk about your forecast because there are some big changes meteorologist Vic Matthews said earlier that if you like roller coasters, this is your week. Hold on, everybody, and say wee, because so today's gorgeous, right? It's going to get up into the 80s, maybe some isolated rain, maybe in some places, but 80 degrees, partly sunny. Tomorrow is when that cold front starts to come through. And look at Thursday morning. It drops down to 36 degrees. So we're at 80 degrees today at one point, and then we're going to go down to 36 Thursday morning. So bring your umbrella with you, your flip-flops, but keep that winter coat handy too, because you're going to need it come Thursday morning. But then look at that. Look at that weekend. Sun comes back out. Temperatures warm back up. 72 and 70 on Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully those weekend plans will be outside for you this week. Kevin, anybody chiming in on some of the
Let's see what we got here this morning. We have a couple of good mornings. Good morning, Dee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, Dee.
But yeah, we do have a comment about the Super Bowl performance, which is very controversial. She says it's not family friendly unless pole dancing is appropriate for children, and that's from Suzanne.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people felt that way. I personally really enjoyed the show. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So here's the thing with the pole dancing thing, and and that's Kathy who said that?
Yes.
I hear you on that one. Oh,
that was Suzanne.
Oh, Suzanne. Sorry, Suzanne. So I've been to a couple Cirque du Soleil shows that are family friendly. I mean, and I'm not talking about the one in Vegas that's like
right.
Definitely for adults. They're like the Cirque du Soleil ones. And it seems like a lot of the performances now, as far as like the acrobats, they're using poles now. And they're not meant to be sexual. It just shows, I mean, it's basically like if you're climbing a rope. I mean, it just shows how athletic you are. So I kind of think the pole is evolving, but maybe it evolved too fast. You know what I mean? Like maybe a lot of people just still see that as something that you would equate to like a strip club. So I hear you on that one, and you're not alone in that thought. A lot of people agree with you on that one.
Right, and that's definitely the big talker this morning. Kristen saying 50 is the new 30, so yeah, it's good for them. Ladies,
can we talk about them just setting the bar way too high? I mean, J-Lo's 50, Shakira's 43, and they were dancing like that and look like that. I mean, come on. Those are some very high expectations, Kevin. I just want you to realize, everybody, that is not normal. They found the fountain of youth somewhere.
Yeah, they did wonderful. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Just Grace is making it kind of a generational thing. She's calling out the boomers, but saying that the older ones probably didn't like it more than the younger ones, and I could see that definitely. But,
yeah.
And
I guess it's what you're with like Shakira and J-Lo. I knew what to expect from Shakira. I mean, she's a belly dancer, and that's what she does. So I knew there was going to be a lot of that type of dancing. And then, of course, J-Lo is she's hip hop, right? So I assumed it was going to be like that. I could see there were a couple of parts where I thought were a little bit risque, but compared to the Grammys, I thought it was pretty tame. I mean, there was no swearing, there was not much like twerking. I didn't really see much twerking. A couple like little shakes, but I thought the Grammys were a lot more risque than that Super Bowl halftime show.
Right. We're getting a couple comments, guys, from, we have one from Beryl here who actually does want to know about the Metro shooting, a much more serious story. Yeah. Lauren, as you said, no one was hurt.
Thank God.
Yes.
A passenger was injured by some shattered glass, but minor injuries. And we actually have a crew on the scene right now, so that is a story we're going to be following throughout the day. But yeah, I mean, there is no gunman in custody. There is no suspect description really at this point. But yeah, in case you're just joining us, let me tell you about the details there. So at 6:30 this morning, somebody fired multiple shots at a Metro bus. And this was, this was Veterans Memorial. That's just north of West Gulf Bank. Yeah, you're looking at some video of the scene right there. So at this point, there's no motive. We don't know who did it and why. Were they driving by? Were they on the street? Were they targeting somebody on the bus? Was this just a random shooting? Those are details that our team, who is out there on the ground, they're gathering right now. And again, that's a story we'll be continuing to update you on online at KGU.com, and of course, when on air at noon, and then on all of our social media pages as well. So yeah, luckily, gosh, nobody was seriously injured. So that is amazing.
I think that's all we have this morning, Lauren.
Okay. Great. Well, hey, thanks for weighing in. Thanks for watching us here on KHOU 11. Again, throughout the day when we're not on air, we are always online, khou.com. And if you haven't downloaded our free mobile app yet, now's the time to do it. It's free in the App Store, KHOU 11. In the meantime, I'm Lauren Tellerico from all of the good folks here at KHOU 11. We hope you have a great Monday.